Alright guys, good morning and welcome to another Alpha FX market analysis. We're going to start with going through our process. Of course, as usual, we start checking the economic calendar. Let's go there. Boom. So we have news coming up from the States only late in the afternoon. Already got some news coming out from China, but we don't trade anything related to China. But it's good to bear that in mind because China is a very strong partner, commercial partner with Australia and New Zealand, right? So they are very tight, and it usually not, but it can affect the valuation of them, of those currencies. Okay, so we start here, boom, 2:30 p.m. New York Empire State Manufacturing. That can cause some volatility, but I assume that we're going to be already out again, hopefully. Else, you need to adjust your risk parameters accordingly. Okay, so let's go to the heat maps to do our relative strength analysis. Gold is fully red. Let me just do a quick. I don't understand why we have this. No, this one should not be here. This one should be right here. And we need to, I had another document open, so I apologize for that. And there we go. Alright, so what do we have here? Very mixed, right? Yep. To be Monday, the only thing we have there is the Australian dollar, and the weakest by far gold and USD, right? Okay, so now we're gonna do a quick check of our risk environment. We're going over to futures, and we're gonna see. We're not gonna even get into the charts. Just see. Well, we can check. Right? But the S&P is green. NQ is green. Let's go to something shorter term. Green, green, green. So we have all indices green, right? I'm gonna check the XY. It's red for hours. Let's go to the daily. Red, red, red. Alright. Now let's update our Dixie. Off. On, sorry, on. When the dollar is down, risk is on. When the dollar is up, risk is off. When the S&P and Nasdaq are up, risk is on. When the S&P and Nasdaq are down, risk is off. Heat map. Commodity FX versus safe havens. The commodity FX, which are AUD, NCD, CAD. So AUD is totally green, and then CAD and NCD, we only have them red against JPY and GBP. JPY is mixed. USD is red, is mostly red, only against CHF is green. So CHF. Yeah, so CHF is also weak. That gives us safe havens currencies, USD and CHF. They are both red, right? So, and commodities, they are not so green, but they're green. So that's saying us that risk is on. So final verdict, on across all instruments, period. That's good. That's good. So our fourth step, right? Wait, let's put the Dixie screen capture just to. Why am I not seeing the button? this is a 6 as well, and I want a 4-hour chart. There we go. Boom. Let's put also ES and NQ. Oh, as bullish as it can get, right? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's as bullish as it can get. Yes. Yes, and Nasdaq. Thank you. Beautiful. Beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. If you think this is getting too long, that's because I want you to be very, very process oriented and very detailed on your analysis. We do this only once a day, so spend maybe 30, 40, 50, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, whatever it takes you, in order to have a clear bias, a clear stance about what you're going to trade is exactly what you have to trade, right? You don't have any doubts in your mind, and if you have, you don't trade, right? That's the idea with this. All right, now we move on to I'm on the strongest and I'm on the weakest. What I mean by this is that, let's go here. The strongest is AUD, so we don't have any other over strong. Well, look at GBP. GBP is 2. GBP is 2. Yeah, we have. So we're going to check AUD GBP to see which of the strongest is the strongest, right, among them. So in this case, let's try another one. We're going to check AUD or GBP AUD. GBP AUD. And the verdict about GBP AUD is, let's check, but we don't check it here, we check it already in our GBP AUD. Boom. So now we see that in the very short term, GBP is getting stronger. Oh, no. Let's do it top down. Let's do it top down better. Going down, down, very down, going down, very nice. Supply area right here. Boom. And going. Okay, currently getting into supply. But look at this. We are in clearly a bearish market structure. So in the very short term, we see here that there was a break of structure, right? To the upside. Right there. Boom. If we go to the hourly, we're still in a downtrend. So I'm going to stay with that. The British pound is weaker than the USD, than the AUD, and we're going to put this chart as a proof. Let's put the 4-hour chart as a proof. Look at this, so bearish. All right. Boom. We're going to go here and Now I'm on the weakest, right? The weakest. Which were the weakest? Gold, USD, and CHF. Okay. I'm gonna put USD CHF, right? Because gold we are not trading it with this approach. CHF. Let's go check USD CHF. Sorry, this one. USD CHF. USD CHF. And bearish. Bearish. I assume bearish. Grab some liquidity above here, and now boom, melting down. Down, 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 down. Beautiful. So let's put the 4 hour as usual. And the USD CHF is down, so the weakest is the USD. Right? Do we agree on that one? Yeah. This week we have Fed interest rates decision on Wednesday, so everybody's expecting, we're gonna check it, but okay, so we have the USD is the weakest and the GBP is, the AUD is the strongest, so we're gonna look to trade AUD USD, right? Let's go check AUD USD. AUD USD. Alright. AUD USD should be going up, like, yeah, exactly, nice. Beautiful. So what do we have here? Let's do a top down. Oh, we're getting into a supply area, but we already touched it, give a little reaction, and now we're moving forward, so we're gonna go through it for sure. No issues on that. 8 hours, 4 hours. Wow, it's respecting moving averages, right? Or the demand areas, but here it didn't even reach the demand area, so it's as bullish as it can get. Here it came, touched this demand and moved away. So let's go to the earlier, see what we have to get into. Okay, we have this one, right? It was barely touched. That's kind of tricky, kind of tricky. Okay, so here we have all this as a demand, but for me, I will stick with this one. Yeah, it's almost the entire range. 1 hour it's okay, 2 hour, 4 hour. Yeah, I see it like kind of difficult for price to come back. Let's see 4 hours how long we have. 1 hour. Alright, let's put our trade right here. Nine pips. Stop loss. Let's do it rounded to 10. Let's put 220, okay? 21. Let's see the 60 now what this will be. Yeah, I see this happening. As it's Monday, I wouldn't risk it to go that much far away. So yeah, this is gonna be our trade, guys. Beautiful trade on AUDUSD, very high probable. So I'm gonna just do this. Non-commercials are long in USD, are long in AUD, short in USD. We have absolutely everything in line for this trade. So, alright. AUD USD order. There we go. Alright guys, that's it for today. If you don't remember the process, here's the process. The setup parameters actually, right? This is the conservative way, right? Sometimes you just put the entire order on the demand area or supply area limit edge for saying. So yeah, take a screen capture. This is the safest approach, the highest probability approach. There are some times that I like so much the position that I only leave the limit order on the edge and that's it. But this would be the high probable but active trading approach, right? You have to be there because if you read this, you understand that some things need to happen in order for you to get your full position. Alright guys, that's it for today. Have a great day, a great start of week, and remember, be enough at everything you do. See ya.